This is probably the most iconic Vietnamese at-home dish, and definitely my personal favorite. Today, we're making Thịt Kho Tàu, or braised pork belly and eggs. It's a simple yet incredibly comforting meal that features slow braised pork belly in a sweet and savory sauce that just melts in your mouth. It's a staple dish during Lunar New Year or Thit because the pork belly represents prosperity and wealth, and the egg symbolizes unity and new beginnings to help usher in a prosperous year ahead. And while this dish is a major component of Thit celebrations, Thịt Kho Tàu is eaten all year round, and it's a dish that always reminds me of home. So do me a favor and make sure you like, comment, share, and save this video. Alright y'all, remember to wash your hands. Now the first thing we have to do is prep our pork, and I have about 4 pounds of thick skin-on pork belly. And first we'll need to parboil it in some salted water for about 10 minutes to help reduce some of its porky odor. We'll drain and rinse it with cold tap water to make it easier to handle. And then we'll cut the pork belly in half lengthwise and then into big 1.5 to 2 inch cubes, roughly matching the size of hard-boiled eggs. Then we'll get our pork belly into a big mixing bowl, and we're going to marinate it with a tablespoon of minced shallots, a tablespoon of minced garlic, and then I have 4 Thai chilies that I'll thinly slice, and we'll add half of this into the marinade, and we'll save the other half to cook with later. Then we'll season this with 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, a tablespoon of sugar, and some salt and pepper. Then we'll give this a good mix, and this is vibing out in the fridge for at least half an hour. Now when we're ready to cook, we'll take a big pot on medium-low heat, and we'll make our Nuoc Mao, or Vietnamese caramel, by slowly melting a 1/4 cup of sugar. We'll occasionally stir the sugar to prevent it from burning, and the sugar will eventually start to harden just a little bit before fully melting. Now we'll continue to cook the sugar slowly, and after 5 to 7 minutes, the sugar will turn a dark amber color, which will add sweetness and a hint of smokiness to our dish. Now to the pot, we'll add in a splash of oil, and we'll give that a good mix to help loosen up our caramel. And then we'll add in our marinated pork along with all the marinade. And if you like this recipe and you want to learn how to make more of your favorite Vietnamese and Asian dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. Turn the heat up to medium-high, and then we'll brown off our pork belly for a few minutes. Then to the pot, we'll add in a 1/4 cup of fish sauce, we'll pour in a 12-ounce can of Coco Rico, and if you can't find this, you can use coconut water instead. Then we'll add in just enough water to mostly cover our pork. We'll drop in the rest of our Thai chilies and add a ton of ground black pepper. Give that a good mix, and we'll bring this up to a boil. Then we'll skim off the impurities. Reduce the heat to low, and we'll let this simmer covered with a slight crack for about 60 to 75 minutes, or until the pork belly is mostly tender. And the time will vary just a little bit depending on how thick you cut your pork. Now while our pork belly is vibing out in the hot tub, we'll make our eggs. And a part of me really wants to do a medium boiled jammy egg here, but to keep this dish authentic and traditional, we'll hard boil the eggs. So to a pot of room temperature water, we'll add in a dozen eggs, turn the heat up to high, and bring this up to a boil. And we'll let our eggs cook for about 10 to 12 minutes. And when they're cooked through, we'll submerge them in some cold tap water for just a couple minutes. Now, to peel our eggs, I like giving them a little tap on the top and bottom, and then gently rolling it around while applying a little bit of pressure with my palm to get cracks all over the eggs. Then using the side of my thumb, we'll gently lift away the peel to reveal a perfectly hard-boiled egg. I'll give each egg a quick rinse in water to remove any remaining shell, and then we'll want to pat these eggs dry with a paper towel. Now, the next part is completely optional, but since it's Thit, we're gonna make them extra special. So to a small pot, I'm gonna pour in a couple cups of neutral oil. We'll turn up the heat to medium-high and let the oil reach about 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we'll deep fry our eggs for just about a minute, making sure to not overcrowd the pot. And when the egg whites start to blister and turn golden, we'll pull them out and set them on a paper towel to remove the excess oil. These deep fried eggs will create a slightly more porous exterior, allowing those eggs to soak up more of the sauce, as well as introducing a new texture to our Thit Kho. Plus, I think it just looks better, but if you don't want to take this extra step, I don't blame you at all. Now back to our pork belly, and after an hour or so, your pork should be pretty tender. And just look at those layers. Now we're gonna add our eggs into the pot, and we'll let this continue to simmer for another 10 or 15 minutes. Then go ahead and make any other final adjustments to your seasonings, and then it's time to plate. I'm serving this up with white jasmine rice, so we'll just pack some into a bowl. And then in a separate bowl, we'll ladle in our pork belly and eggs, making sure to get a little bit of everything. And just like that, you've made the best Thịt Kho Tàu at home. As always, the recipe and measurements are on my blog at feedthepudge.com. And if you've made it this far, chúc mừng năm mới. I hope you all have a prosperous year ahead and that all your hopes and dreams come true this year. Thank you for all the love and support you continue to show me, and for being a part of helping me make my dreams of being a full-time content creator a reality. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy.